back to Everyday Struggle. Nadeska here with DJ Akademiks and Wayno. It's a beautiful, glorious Tuesday morning. We just learned that Nicki Minaj and Cardi B don't fuck with each other. What a surprise. How you guys doing?
They used to blame it on me, man. They used to say I started this shit.
You a Barbz now, huh?
Now look what we've seen. They've been beefing all fucking along.
Right.
Glad it's revealed.
Revealed. I don't know what the revelation. Well, actually, there were many revelations here. We're gonna get into them one by one. Let's start with Nicki Minaj getting back on Beats One yesterday for a new episode of Queen Radio, where she addressed the New York Fashion Week squabble with Cardi again. This time, claiming that it was Ra Ali who beat up Cardi, not a security guard. That's why she got the knot on her forehead. Allegedly. Let's listen.
I really beat Cardi's ass bad. Like really bad. And I'm not trying to, and I'm not trying to be messy. You went home and told people that security hit you. And we let that lie continue because of legal reasons. I told Ra, don't tell anyone you hit her because I don't want nobody trying to sue me.
All right, so she's saying Riley hit Cardi like 8-9 times. And then she tried to take the camera away from her cameraman so no one could see this footage. And now she's offering $100K for the footage. Let's just start with this bit. Does this sound true or false?
Well, for me, it doesn't make sense only because, like, if there's a cameraman there, her own cameraman, why wouldn't she have the footage? Secondly, if she didn't want Ra Ali to say something so she could potentially get sued, why are you saying something that could potentially get you sued or potentially get Ra Ali locked up? This whole shit is just, like, out of hand. Like, when I seen this yesterday, I'm like, all right, this is way too much. Like, this is
Maybe someone could try to guess why. Akademiks, do you have any good guesses why? Like, the timing of this now? We thought this was dead.
No. Well, you see, the stands know what's going on because now they start seeing on social media because Cardi B's sister, Hennessy, I think that's her name? That's like a wild name.
It's a perfect name for you. You love Hennessy.
Bro, like, imagine your child is born like, this is Hennessy. Like, but for real, like, Cardi B's sister has been saying certain stuff about Nicki, and for her, like, you know the Cardi B's, I'm gonna just call their family that, they have no chill. So they don't know how to, like, sneak this. They just come out and diss you. So pretty much Nicki's fans, the Barbz, they're always harassing people. That's a fact. That's 100% fact. So they leaked a bunch of numbers, and they're constantly harassing her sister and even Cardi B. So her sister's standing up for her on social media, but her sister is also, like, dissing Nicki. So when it's that close connection, Nicki then goes on the radio and say, you know what? Since you're going to be on the Shade Room saying that I look like a crackhead on stage, let me actually tell what happened. And also, you're going at my goon. I guess, is Riley a goon or some shit?
Not that I knew. But
she's a beautiful woman. I don't know if she's doing.
So are you believing this whole story about how the fight really went down and this secret footage?
No. First of all, Nicki ain't seen no footage if she's talking like this.
Wait, real quick.
Yo, it's one of those joints where something pop off at a club and you believe in your homie, which your homie just telling you anything to get. Yo, like, no disrespect to Riley. I don't know what she does, how she get paid by Nicki, why she going that hard. Maybe this is that good of a friends. But clearly, you could tell she was telling Nicki, hyping her up, yeah, I fucked her up, this, that, third. If Nicki had saw it, Nicki wouldn't be like, the events wouldn't have played out like this. So I think she's going off what her friend said, and then I agree with Wayno. Yo, I'll pay $100,000 for the footage, but I got my own footage.
Right.
Stop lying. You ain't seen no footage.
Yo, also,
no footage.
Also, if
the
she
overhead footage.
If she punched the nine,
only Nicki would see the one surveillance tape. Like, I can't wait till I get to Queen Radio.
There was a drone. Somebody wants the drone footage.
So this is my thing, right? Like, Cardi B is like one of the most popular artists in the game today. She got punched 9 times and then ain't one, like, nobody caught that. No, that one, not even that. I'm just saying she got punched 9 times and nobody caught that on camera. Like, that it happened that fast with nobody seeing this coming. So people at this ball are too conservative to pull out their phones. Nah, everybody out here is being messy. And I think that this is just, like, one of the most messiest things we ever seen play out because of social media. It's been, like, women have beef before, and we've never just seen it roll out on social media in such a way with 2 of the top artists. So for me, it's like, I'm standing back like, yo, this, like, let this play out however. You know, I think that it's, what I mean by that is, like, I don't even know how I could give an opinion on these 2 women who are doing so great in life.
I don't know that we need to make it like a woman issue, though.
No,
Is it not just a beef issue?
I look at 2 rappers, man, 2 ratchets, they beefing and shit.
It's just two rappers beef. I mean, because what I mean by that is how they carry themselves aside from this, right? How they carry themselves aside from this. When Nicki isn't doing any of this, nobody's really not mad at her as a person or how she presents herself, right? She's always held herself to a certain standard. Same with Cardi. That's what I'm saying. It's like now they look like two wrestlers.
Yo, they're playing the propaganda game. Nicki Minaj got that Queen radio show to spin propaganda in her favor. Well, this is the thing. Nicki, she's a great orator. By the way, if you listen to Queen radio, like she runs that shit like she would be second or third to Wendy and Angie on the mic as a woman. She's really good at doing that radio shit. Now, she's good at that, so like even when I heard it, like even though it makes sense, it was like, yo, I got the footage, but I got another 100,000 for some more. Like what? Even that, right? She was kind of giving and spinning the story to be like, yo, she got punched 8, 9 times point blank, and I'm like, damn, yo, Cardi B must got be from the Bronx. She took all them punches and get knocked out.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, damn.
8 or 9 times.
Being from the Bronx
but beyond that, well, that means you're a tough chick, bro. But beyond that, you have to look at Cardi B, and when Cardi B did respond, and we're gonna get to that, like Cardi B has our sympathy, and she has like when she talks, no matter how bad grammar it is, like we believe her. So like with Nicki here, she sounded convincing until Cardi spoke.
And the crazy thing is she circles back at the end and says, let's take a lie detector test. We should really do this. This would be amazing for the culture. Like, let's have them really take the lie detector test.
One thing I say, Cardi made a great point, and this is kind of the source of why this is popping off now. Nicki uses her fans to bully everybody.
Do you think she leaked Cardi's number? She said that leak happened about an hour after the party. The Barbz actually really good at finding it themselves, I think.
I don't think she deliberately leaked it. I believe maybe came from Nicki's team. I don't think Nicki's like, Barbz, get him.
So someone on her team, but not her directly.
Yeah, exactly. Or something of the sort. What I will say is that Nicki, and she, as much as I love Nicki and like, I have a lot of sympathy for her in some of this situation because I feel like some people be like, oh, just Cardi's always telling the truth. I feel like certain shit she said about Cardi, she's right. I think she's actually, and if we're gonna get into it, where she says, yo, you prevented people from being on records with me, I believe that.
Which one?
Not 21.
Because
not
I was
21.
gonna say, because the 21 one, the dude who
21.
produced the song, no?
Not 21.
Jumped out and said like, well, we'll get to that. We have that too.
Not
so what
21.
other songs then?
Well, she said they had some secret beef meeting, right? At some hotel. Yeah, and according to Nicki, and she tweeted it later, but she initially stated on Queen Radio, you looked me in my face and said, you prevented Offset from being on the No Flag song with London on the track or whatever, because you thought I was dissing you.
Okay, so it's her man though. Is that weird? If it's your man to be like, I don't want you on a record where someone's dissing me?
No, so it's not weird.
Okay.
But the whole narrative of these two having issues is that Nicki is doing these things about like, yo, this is going on, so don't work with her, or don't put this, like, we're not realizing that Cardi is a whole superstar, and Cardi's kind of wielding the same power as Nicki. We sympathize with Cardi because of how she comes across. We're not realizing like she stuck the whole Atlantic up and said, yo, on the motorsport thing, if y'all don't get this chick's verse the fuck out of here where I think she's dissing me, if this doesn't change, I'm off the label. If this doesn't change,
wait, she said that she was off the label.
Hold on.
You can't get off.
Well, no,
it's not that simple.
But
like,
wait, no, how about this?
Clearly,
does it matter if she's doing this to random people on a track or a track where it's like her man?
Well, all right, so exactly.
I feel like that's a little different.
So it is the thing, right? Like, if you fuck with somebody, like, honestly, if you fuck with somebody that I don't really fuck with you like that. And the whole thing is like, it might not be Nicki and Cardi's having their issues. Who knows when that track with Offset was done, but I'm not okaying that neither. Like, if I'm her, I'm not okaying that neither. And I don't think that that's that far-fetched. Both of them, everybody has, like, their version. They might both have truths, but everybody has their version of the truth.
That's a fact.
Right? Like, everybody has their version of the truth. And at this point, of course, now we find out that they've been talking about, which we knew for the past, 2 years, that they've been talking about each other. I don't know where this goes from here. Like, to me, this was just like, nobody used this to drop nothing. Usually when people be beefing, they use it to drop something or put something out. I tell you who did win in this, Tyga. Like, no, seriously. I tell you who did win in this, Tyga, because he dropped the fucking song, and his song had Nicki talking about that situation that they went through or whatever, alluding to it. He's the only one that benefits from it musically. This is what it's all about, end of the day, music, right?
So we're going to play the snippet in a little bit. And just to clarify, so it was the producer Russian. So he was in Cardi's DM saying 21 Savage was replaced by Travis Scott because 21 had an issue with his kid and couldn't make the Creepy Kush video, not because of anything else. I just think it's interesting. You have to point out with her man, it's like a different story. That's like an extra layer of
listen. We really, and the way how we're framing this, I want to be super fair. Like, listen, Nicki has, I've given public stories about what Nicki tried to even do to me. So fuck all of that. Nicki has done some shit behind the scenes. I'm just not going to sit up here today and act like Cardi doesn't know how powerful she is. Cardi can't stop niggas from being on records with other people outside of her, man. Just like how, do I believe, and Jason Lee came out with this, salute to him, he's from Hollywood Unlocked. He said, yo, Nicki Minaj stopped, Future from being on that Drip record with Cardi. Do I believe it? Yes. Do I believe that maybe some influence, I don't know if she said directly, I don't know what that conversation might be like. Do I believe that because 21 was on one of Cardi's huge singles, maybe that influenced him from not being on 2 records, maybe not even both, maybe one of them, right?
He might have restrictions. I mean, just to interject real quick, he might have restrictions too. Some artists can only do X amount of features per year. That's why you don't see everybody get a Rihanna hook or a Rihanna feature or Kendrick, for that matter. Like, they only lay out maybe 3 or 4 for the whole year. That could be another thing too that we're not hearing about.
Yeah, absolutely. But you know what? Just being fair, and just because I don't know, we're hearing sides, right?
Okay, so let's call it even.
I'm gonna call it even.
Let's call it even in terms of people sabotaging each other's music just for the sake of this argument. Fair enough?
Yeah.
All right, now let's hear. So Cardi hit Instagram. She dropped like 10 videos addressing Nicki in detail. So let's listen to a little bit.
This is my thing, Nicki Minaj, right? How you saying that I got ragged by Riley when there is so many footages of that night, every single angle, and where am I getting ragged at? You lie so much you can't even keep up with your fucking lies. First you're saying that you got the footage, your cameraman got the footage, but now you're talking about you want to pay somebody $100,000 if they give you the footage? Yo, makes sense when you talking. I thought you was the victim. I know what there's footage of. You standing on the wall talking about, I'm standing right here, Miss Chung Lee, the Street Fighter. Get the fuck out.
Yo, Cardi, all the footages.
Yo,
Cardi
love
killed
her.
it last night.
Man, that was hilarious, man. That was hilarious.
That's the thing, yo. Both women got their own platform. Like, Nicki is not the talk to the phone chick. That's Cardi. Nicki got to get on a radio show, big produce, bombs, 30 niggas in the room.
They're both so
Let's
talented.
set up records. Tyga, you call it, Nene leaks. Like, it's a whole production.
You listened to the whole episode?
Do you think I'm gonna miss Queen Radio?
Of course he did. Like, what?
Don't look at me
No.
like
First,
that.
I knew it was gonna be lit. When Nicki tweets out Queen Radio, I gotta talk some things. There was another part that she didn't get to. She was supposed to expose YouTube and Leor Cohen.
Who, Cardi?
Nicki.
Oh.
Nicki.
Oh, wow.
And that's, Nicki was retweeting and liking some of her fans' tweets, and that's usually in line with where she's thinking, saying that Atlantic is paying to freeze views, which to me, again,
You could do that? What?
I'm still thinking she's off the deep end. She never got to it though.
Wait,
she never got to
wait,
it.
what's this?
Maybe Larry Jackson, who was in that room.
What was it? She said?
She didn't say directly, but she was liking tweets, and then she tweeted out, "Yo, Queen Radio, we gotta talk some things." Leor, basically that she was gonna expose Leor, and then she was like, "Dame Dash, where you at?" You feel me? We all know Dame Dash and Leor don't like each other.
This shit is so fucking wild, yo.
Leor Cohen is the head of YouTube Music,
Wow.
and pretty much, like, I thought she was gonna get into that, which I thought was utterly ridiculous. Like, you know, Nicki has this whole narrative that Atlantic has paid for Cardi's career, but not only that, which I think we all have accepted probably this, and it's just business, right? Yeah. Atlantic doesn't have Nicki. They want to have the main female star, right? Yeah, they're probably using whatever little leverage and tools they got to work against Nicki, right? But this, to freeze YouTube views?
I've never even heard that.
Which show is freezing Everyday Struggle views? That's what I want to know. Who is freezing?
Nah, man, that's what I'm saying. This shit is like like a bad episode of some cartoon or some shit. This shit is wild. And again, I feel like it's all for nothing. Like, end of the day, who gives a fuck? That's how I feel about it. It's like, end of the day, who gives a fuck? Because it has nothing related to no, like, what's the real issue? For everything that I heard no real issue on either side. Like, no
just
real
disrespect.
I mean, but disrespect that comes from where? Because
I heard issues, man.
What issues? She never said. Look, she didn't say nothing about the kid. Like, she never said nothing about the kid.
Yo, I understand so much on both sides, yo. If I'm Cardi, I'm tight like that. I just wouldn't handle it like that. But if I'm a rookie and I came from the streets, I'm used to just fighting bitches. That's how we have.
What would be your strategy?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't deal with it like that. You have to use Nicki's strategy.
Nah. Nicki's extremely calculated in the way she moves, like trying to mimic that.
But every time you act off emotion, you look crazy.
To who though? I don't know that that's a fact.
But aren't both of them acting off emotion right now? They're both acting off emotion.
Yes, but the way
one comes off more polished than the other.
Exactly. They're making chess moves here. When you have a lump and you try to set it off at a fashion event, and the chick who's the queen has a photo shoot afterwards, you look crazy. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but when Cardi says things like, I'm from the Bronx, I don't snitch, sorry, we're not going to be doing lawsuits and all this shit, I feel like that's perfectly in line with Cardi, so I don't know that people think she looks crazy for doing stuff like this. Not everyone, at least.
She does look, at least to me, you know why she looks crazy? Even with this shit.
Yeah?
I watched all these videos, I'm like, damn, she's bodying Nicki. But you know what? A lot of things she said, you saw people, she was like, yo, I got this on first. The group comes out like, no, we wanted the queen. She looked a little crazy. She was like, yo, I got this Diesel deal first. The CEO of some, like, was it modeling agency or whatever that was integral in that was like, no, we literally wanted Nicki. So it made, like, she's acting off emotion. Like, that's probably some shit you shouldn't say. You shouldn't, like, in your little tip
so you
for
want
her.
her to script it a little bit instead of just like hopping up on Instagram. She should script it and think deeply about it, sort of like the way Nicki goes to.
No, because what's getting under your skin to cause these outbursts is very calculated by Nicki. Again, why are they beefing? They're beefing.
Yeah, why are they beefing? That's what I know. What are they beefing?
All right, why they boil up here, right? Cardi's sister is basically just on Instagram saying, fuck Nicki. Like, just overtly. You know why? Nicki's fans keep fucking with them. Now, I'm telling y'all, Nicki uses her fans like that.
All right, so question.
But it's a subliminal thing. Nicki's like, so she's on Queen Radio. Leave me alone. I haven't said nothing about you. Nicki, you're liking tweets. You're encouraging your fans to bully them.
So that's why I want to ask you a question.
You're telling them, leak their number. You get me?
So with that being said, do you think that each artist, like, do they have like an obligation to say something to their fan base to chill? Because I mean, like the Barbz attack everybody, right? They've attacked you, me, you, like they attack everybody.
So in this situation, you're saying she didn't overtly say, but remember there was the writer. She didn't like the article, and she's like, Barbz, can you go find this guy's whatever? I think that's so destructive.
But
like it's a normal, non-celebrity person that you're sending people to attack.
Nicki has to stop that. That's a very disgusting thing about her fan base. And to be honest, Nicki has had the luxury that her privacy has never gotten invaded. Listen, let's keep it 100, right? Whether she is leaking people's numbers, I think that would be like, you're worth too much to be just like, here, Barbz, here's the number. But she's implicitly co-signing the act. Remember last year, Joe's number got leaked. There was tweets liking him like, yo, this is what you get when you go at the Barbz. Basically, Barbz celebrating that they're harassing someone. Yeah. If you're liking those tweets, those are your fans. You know what your fans, they're very simple.
And that Diesel campaign was an anti-bullying campaign.
Yeah, she wants us to keep doing this. Nicki should have came out and said, listen, whatever issue I got with Cardi, especially when you see like her kick it, whatever issue I got with Cardi or whoever, I'm gonna handle that. Do not do this.
But all right, so when the pendulum is not swinging in your favor, right? Because everybody's been critical of Nicki for a lot of things this year, right? So when the pendulum is not swinging in your favor, and who do you turn to support you? Like, if she tried to, I'm not saying she is, but if she tried to justify this whole act, like, yeah, these are my real supporters, because you know people say these are my real supporters, either people support me, I can't be responsible for their actions.
No.
So I mean,
but listen, even worse than the Barbz, there's a worse group, the fucking Beehive. But you don't see Beyonce on Instagram like, yeah, get Kid Rock. How dare he? Remember when Kid Rock? No, like if y'all like if y'all act crazy because y'all are
It's called
stands,
class, though. I mean, the class would not permit you to do something like that.
but that's what I'm saying. If y'all act crazy because y'all stands, I don't co-sign it. I'm not co-signing it, but you don't, well, even though I don't speak out against it publicly, I'm not like on a subtle way just like co-signing this shit. Nicki is co-signing this shit. I'm telling you, I'm seeing it. Cardi showed the like tweets. Okay. You can't celebrate people getting harassed and say.
So why don't you keep your fans off Vic Mensa then?
No, I never told you.
I'm fucking with you.
I'll tell you Vic Mensa.
Yo, I would say Axe fan base. No, sometimes things start off rough. It did with us, but they come around and they're cool actually. It's not like they're just like attacking.
Nah, they're cool. I'm just fucking with you.
Yeah, and hold on. Yeah, let's be honest even about the boundaries, right? And the reason why we're even talking about this, to be clear, is like this is kind of like the heart of why this spurred up again. Because everyone was like, well, why this came up? Yeah, there's like Cardi B and her sister, they're kind of getting bullied by the Barbz. Like, yo, that's why when Nicki says, why are you on your live talking about me? Nicki, cut it out. Your Barbz leaked her song. She had to drop it 2 days early. They leaked your fucking song.
They do that? That's
one of the reasons I don't think that Nicki gave the number. Right. These fucking Barbz are technologically savvy. They're getting your numbers, address, social security. They fucking get where you like to eat. These fucking people are deranged. Right. But that alone already tells you like that bullying causes these reactions from Cardi. So I can't blame Cardi when not knowing how to play the same game, because apparently yesterday I found out, because people were hitting me, they're like, yo, you're tweeting out some Nicki shit, and I'm like, I gotta let both of y'all know, I'm not on either y'all sides. Like, I literally am Team Act, not Team Bardi. But there's a Bardi gang, and they're like, they hate Nicki too. Cardi doesn't know how to be kind of low and just use her fan base to attack, which I don't think that's cool
I hope
either.
she never does that.
Yeah, I mean, this whole thing is just like really, really out of hand.
Well, look, guys, we're going to wrap it up on a positive note here, sort of, right? Until we get to the song snippet. Can we pull up the final
Fuck that. I'm getting that $100,000.
You're going to doctor the footage?
You know,
Wayno, you on board?
That 100 bands?
Hey, guys.
All right, nigga.
Hey, guys. Let's focus on positive things only from here on out. We're also blessed. I know this stuff is entertaining and funny to a lot of people, but I won't be discussing this nonsense anymore.
Shut up.
Thank you for the support and encouragement year after year. Love you. Heart emoji.
Fuck this. That's a lie. They'll be beefing again next week when Queen Radio is back up.
You can't wait for Queen Radio.
On some real shit, though. Nicki started taking my advice. I was watching it. I don't know if it's my like.
What? Don't flatter yourself.
Oh my! Well,
I'm saying, what was it? What was it though? Like, what was it?
I don't necessarily mean like maybe she's like, oh, I listen every day struggling. He gave, but I've always said from the get go. You even with your little Queen Radio shit, you're not convincing people that much. Like people just love Cardi. So even though I might even sit here and be objective and say Cardi has a lot of power to do a lot of stuff that you've been accused and vilified for. Cardi is in the Cinderella stage. She is an angel, and we all love her. We love the bad grammar. We love that she's authentic. You're not going to get us to dislike her because you're your little radio show. The only advantage you have over her is rap. And when it came to later in the night, because they were beefing for a whole 7 hours.
She suggested getting in the studio, right?
Let's start writing. Let's start rapping. Cardi ain't mentioned a fucking word about that. You know, and you know why? Because you can't. Because you can't rap with Nicki. But here's the thing. Nicki should have shut the fuck up and just drop the track.
Yeah, you said that after the Fashion Week thing. That was good advice.
You drop a track, say nothing more. If Cardi made a fucking Instagram video to be a rebuttal to your diss track, we're flaming her. We love Cardi, but we're flaming her. Because you know what? We've seen even some of the most popular.
So you think that Cardi would make a song too? In today's game, I'm not saying that it would combat her song. What I'm saying is, you don't think that she would make a song? So for her to have all these writers, you don't think somebody's gonna write some shit for her?
You don't think Offset's gonna
You don't think that would happen? Like you don't think that would happen?
No.
No?
Because
bugging. You're bugging.
The Nicki diss track written by Offset, I don't think it's happening.
You think that,
she
people
might
don't
do
care
what
no
Nicki tried
more.
to do to Remy and make it a hit.
People don't care about shit like that no more.
If I'm following Cardi B's, Brett, I watched all this shit, bro. Cardi B was on live 4 or 5 days ago, and she said it. She says, I don't give a fuck about lyrics. I only care about hits. If I'm believing her, She's not getting in a rap battle
Hey,
with
but
Nicki.
it could just be like a rap hit
Listen, man.
that has a couple of subs in it.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Not
Yeah,
subs, but
on her-
jabs. Because like
on
Nicki,
her-
remember when she dropped the 3-pack and they were supposed to be hits? Cardi could just pull out a couple
Okay,
hits and
and
stick
I
to
know
diss track.
this kind of got at Nicki, but imagine if Nicki dropped the sheether on Cardi. Cardi's not responding. You know when the internet like forces you to respond, yo, you got 48 hours, Cardi. Get in the studio with Partisan and
Do you think
we're not getting no response.
You would get a response. I'm not saying.
We
that
get a
the
response on her next hit on like 3 lines.
But that's what I'm saying. Like you're gonna get something. I don't think that Cardi, the type of person she is, her being from the Bronx, she's not gonna not say nothing. Like, and this is what I mean about this whole shit shows me that teams can. This shit is out of control on the back end because teams can't control this.
Right.
You think people that's down with her is not saying like, damn, why the fuck is she on her phone doing all of this? Of course they are, but they can't control it. It's out of control. So you would definitely get a response from Cardi if Nicki did say something. Now, of course, she could poke at all this shit that you don't write and you don't write. All right, we know that. Somebody's gonna give her something to say.
Nah,
Somebody
wait,
will
no,
something
you
to say.
ain't gonna sit here.
I'm not
nigga
saying what about what I would support it or not, but you think I'm not saying I'm supporting it, but you saying that it can't happen. Of course,
No, okay, it might
everything
happen. Hold on,
crazy in
hold on.
rap happens today.
It might happen, but I think that's when the culture would probably take Cardi different. Like, we're giving her the sympathy because she's speaking. She looks like the underdog, the success story. You start rapping, now we gotta say time out, shorty. Like, no matter what we say about Nicki's really going in.
Yeah, of course.
You got the team with you. Like, relax.
We know that. I'm just saying that it will happen, dog. We see crazier shit happen every day from rappers, like crazier shit.
We'll see.
Well, gentlemen, you said that there was no music attached to this beef, but you were wrong. So we got the Tyga remix of Dip with Nicki on it. Let's listen to a snippet of her verse.
All these bitches, my minis, got them calling me Mickey. All that rah-rah never was the icon issue. Harper's Bazaar, I'm covering the icon issue. I got issues, yeah, bitch, I got issues. W, Vogue, Cosmo, I got issues.
That was some music. It sounded pretty related.
That was
to
some
me.
bars too. Cause she said I got issues. Yeah, all of this shit that I got going. Like, I mean, it's some jabs in there. I'm telling you, man, Cardi gonna say something on the song. Trust and believe, man, she gonna say something, yo. She's gonna say something. Now, do I think that she can't get into same shit that what happened before. People who can't get in that gauntlet or that realm shouldn't be doing it, but it'll happen. She's gonna say something on a song.
And I'm gonna, by the way, as I was telling you about the newly, I don't know if it's newly formed Barty gang, they were like, yo, ever since you and Minnow everyday struggle that Nicki DM'd you switch side. I'm like, I'm no side.
Ain't no horse in this race.
I win regardless. Fuck y'all. Anyway, no, but on some real though, as I've always said, Nicki bodied another feature. She had some bars in this shit, man. She had some really clever.
She always does.
Tyga won, man.
Yo, a bunch of double and triple entendres. That's why we could, like, even the line about the In My Feelings, the Kiki and Fifi shit, like that could even be a slight jab to Drake, or it could not. If you're just a rapper, that's just a dope bar. But maybe it's something that maybe only Drake kind of knows about something.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's dope.
Listen, man.
This whole shit reminded me though, and salute to Tyga, by the way, salute to I think DA on the beat, or DA something, whatever. He's the same dude. D.A. Doman. He's the same dude who did the Kodak record, ZZ.
Right.
And that's a hit beat, as I said. So congratulations to him. I hope he has a run.
No, he always said that he liked the beat, but
Yeah, I always said it's a hit beat.
It's like you don't like that Kodak.
Yeah.
All right, carry on.
But this song and
get
the
at him.
hook, it's very reminiscent. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Tyga's catalog. He has a song called Make It Nasty. Like, all I could hear when he was like, make it dip, make it dip. I was like, make it nasty, make it. But, it's the same formula. It works.
Well, I'm just gonna go out and say this now. Tyga gets the Comeback Award of the Year for
Done.
Everyday Struggle
Done and
Awards. He's
done.
a shoo-in for that.
And he came up here and sat with you after you said he went triple copper or whatever disrespectful shit you said on your Instagram.
Tyga is a very
he has a good
confident
sense of
guy.
humor.
No, Tyga's the
He's a
homie.
good dude.
And by the way, like, you see me, while I tell the truth and it might be funny at times, like, I'm not no nigga who just only want to kick you when you down. When the Taste record was doing good,
You
I was
support.
in Tyga's DMs, not only supporting on here, but in his DM, like, let him know, like, remember we had that conversation, I told you, this is like your shit, that's your lane. Songs like this is his lane. This is a banger too,
Yeah.
Trust me on that. And the way how Nicki's gonna promote this, and promote this with even beef, this is gonna be off the charts. Fifi type chart.
Yo,
Watch.
shout out to Tyga. Killing it this year.
Right.
All right, I think we could switch courses now. That was enough Nicki and Cardi. Just a random note. So you guys know the Wireless Festival out in the UK. So they're trying to ban artists from swearing, cussing, wearing offensive clothing during the event. So a local organization called Friends of Finsbury complained. So basically the new conditions for performers say, no performers can sing or play any vulgar, obscene, or banned songs or carry out indecent acts, any vulgar gestures. Anyway, do they not want any rappers at the Wireless Festival anymore? How could you ban all of this stuff live?
Yeah, that's trash. I'm going to keep it 100. That's trash because, like I said before, on CB4, in that movie, this is something that they tried to do where they was banning people from, like, self-expression. Yeah, first off, this is overseas, right?
Yeah, it's UK.
Nobody, if you can't be yourself on stage, depending on what the price point is for your fee to go there, nobody's going over there to do that shit. It's gonna take a lot of artists away from, because now this happens on BET. Like BET, you can't curse, right? Or they'll try to tell you keep the cursing to a minimum,
But on TV
and they
it's
do it in
different,
post.
right? You got other regulations.
Yeah, but this
or
is
a live show. It's
a live show. It's like, yeah, this is trash, yo. Like, this is trash. I don't know who. They're gonna change the whole format of this festival doing something like this.
I agree, and actually I initially agreed with you 100%.
Thank you, Ak. Like when you agree with me.
Initially, nigga. But what I mean by that is that, you know, just hearing that a festival, which, by the way, the UK and the UK music scene is known for, by the way, that's like their event where they also bring in US artists and just hip hop. They ingratiate everything into a huge concert. It's always, we get wild videos from this. Great.
What would be this equivalent for our shit? Like, what is this equivalent?
It's like Rolling Loud.
It's like Rolling Loud.
It's like Rolling Loud.
It's like, how you gonna?
Just huge, right?
How you gonna monitor that?
But here's the thing, right? And that's what I was looking into. I had to look into a couple of artists, couple of like reasons why this is happening. It's not like even a UK thing, because I was like, this happens in the UK because, you know, I was born in Jamaica, and like at certain events you can't curse. If you curse, you'll get locked up.
Yeah, you can get locked up at certain.
Right?
Yeah, I know about that.
But apparently this thing is outdoors. It's in sort of like I don't just call it a neighborhood like it's just down a block, but like it's in this kind of like area where there are residential houses where, yes, you have a permit, but the music bleeds out and whatever. There's a lot of residents there. So they're faced with like a challenge. You could move the event and move it to somewhere else, maybe even indoors. Y'all can do whatever y'all want to do. So it's not like you just can't curse or wear whatever you want to wear. Yeah. You just got to move it.
Dog,
you get me?
This is why I'm happy I was born in America. Like, I'm not even being funny. No,
the Europeans are usually very open-minded about stuff like that, sex and cursing. They don't give a fuck. You see like porn on TV, late night.
I ain't gonna lie. Like when it comes to like public consumption, the U.S. is like more given.
I mean, it depends.
You don't think so?
It depends on what platform.
Like our pop culture has, but I feel like Europeans have been doing this for a long time, bro. Like TV's like wildly.
I feel like in the U.S. we allow anything to go out because we use the freedom of speech and expression. In a lot of other countries, you're not free to fucking show your nipple and run out here without your shirt. Get out of here, nigga.
There are a lot of nude beaches in Europe. I don't know if I subscribe to this line of
not at a public event. Not at a public event. Like they don't want their listen. It's their event. They don't want their population being exposed to that type of shit.
So the people, like you said, nearby are offended by it.
It's
understandable,
their event.
But
didn't Drake do the Wireless Festival before?
Yeah.
This is what I'm saying. It's their event. They can do whatever the fuck they want to do. But don't think that you're gonna have the biggest names come in there if they can't be themselves, because that's a lot to deal with. Like, I gotta, mind you, when you are performing on TV, they usually keep it to like a minimum of maybe like 3 records or 1 or 2 records, so you could kind of like alter how you usually perform. We're talking about a festival where you get to do a 40-minute set. You gotta do 40-minute set and you trying to engage with people and you can't curse.
You gotta edit yourself.
You gotta edit yourself the whole time. You can't wear the Supreme shirt that says "fuck you" on it. Like there's so many things that you can't do. Nah, people's gonna be like, "What am I going there for?"
Unless the check is still.
Yeah, unless it's a stupendous check, and the majority of the people who would be on that type of platform could get that same money here. So, what's the point?
Yeah, again, I know it's been traditionally held in this area. I would suggest, because you ain't gonna be when the government is also agreeing with these motherfuckers, like we're gonna put these restrictions in place. Maybe look to a change of venue. I know it won't have that historic feel, but at least that's the only thing you can do in the interim. But it's kind of sad.
All right.
All right, so we've had enough serious topics today. I guess time for the joke. So 50 Cent back at it again over the weekend trolling Ja Rule. So he hops on Instagram to say that he bought 200 front row seats for a Ja concert so Ja would not have to perform in front of an empty room.
Oh, man.
Why? Why 50? Why?
That Southside Jamaica Queens bullshit, man. That's like, he's never going to let I mean, it's a very touchy situation that they've had over the years, but this shit is never going to stop. Like, we're going to be in our 50s, and they're going to be old and 50 and still be saying shit. Like, it's never going to stop with this, man.
Man, listen, 50's, I don't think 50 bought it, though. I don't think he did.
That's even more fucked up.
But just the idea of
at least buy the tickets
he's
for real.
He's petty and such a troll that he knows when you're a little weak and he'll kick you even further. You feel me? For example, we heard about Ashanti only selling 24 tickets or only 24 tickets getting sold for an event that she was supposed to perform at.
Right.
That's jokes. We're getting at you, okay? Right. Now we hear about Ja Rule, tickets ain't selling well. 50 got to fill the front row. You get me? So it's super hilarious. I don't think he bought it. And it's just to kind of continue the narrative that 50 like squashed Ja like a bug, which that is a narrative. And I mean, I feel bad for Ja, but I do.
You just say he got squashed like a bug and then feel bad.
No, I feel bad for Ja, but like, Fifth gotta chill, man. Because if we really on some analytic and remove the jokes, think about it, like,
but
if Fifth was doing if Fifth was going on tours, because let's keep it real, Ashanti and Ja, they haven't had it. I might have been a child when they had their last hit, being honest, right? Not know this, right? If they're constantly going on tour, they're not selling out 20,000 everywhere.
But are we talking about them touring separately? They were also doing like a joint tour, right? I feel like they have enough hits together.
No, I get all that, but like their individual shit, they're not. I'm talking about legacy artists in the game, right? Like 50's a legend and like he's had some of the biggest records, but like if
Ja Rule a legend too.
You're right, but if 50 was touring all the time, Ja Rule tours all the time.
Yeah.
He's doing event to event. Like 50 has the luxury of doing power and doing a lot of other things. And not saying Ja doesn't have those business ventures as well, but Ja is always doing shows.
Right.
If Fifth was doing shows, like, are we saying that Fifth is pulling out 10, 15,000 everywhere? No, I think
I think that's why he tours overseas so much, and he tours Australia and all those different places.
50 knows the optics. Ja Rule probably is just going around scrunging up bags, and not that it's a bad thing. But
scrunging up bags? Like you think like he?
No, not scrunging up bags. Like he's like nothing.
Yeah,
but
that's the kind of
You're using some big vocabulary words today.
They'll give you the bag. You get me? It's their job to promote it. Yeah. It's not his job to be on social media promoting it. He's getting a bag. We're booking Ja Rule. This is my fee. You can pay? Fuck it. You only got 300 people? Whatever. You get me? Now, that happens.
Yo, man, you're like backhanded compliments is so wild.
All right, hold on.
Because I feel like Ja.
I'm gonna give a real world example,
right,
but even an updated example, right? And I had a conversation with an artist about what do you want? Are you trying to tour to build a fan base and capitalize off that to work to something, or you're just trying to cash in and get the bag? And the artist, I don't even know if I should throw his name out there.
Don't.
But it's an artist like that been to jail, right? Came out of jail, and you know when somebody comes out of jail, you're at least getting paid 6 figures for a show. You haven't been out for a while. Now, this is the dilemma. That's not really a rate, right? And I might be getting a little bit too like into what this all is, right? Yeah. But that's not really a rate. So the person collects that rate for everybody who will actually pay him that.
Right.
Now he's getting paid by venues and promoters, whoever it is. But then they're bringing him to venues that after that buzz of you just came out of jail wore off, yeah, you're not pulling 15,000 people anymore. You're still getting a check.
Yeah.
So when you show up and it's only literally 3,000 people in a 15,000 capacity, you still get paid. You still get paid all your money. But optic-wise, it doesn't look good.
Yeah, but
you know what?
I mean, at that point, you got to work with better. You got to work with better agents. That's not gonna. Nobody should be renting a 15K seated venue to sit 3,000 people.
No. Well, it's not the artist's fault.
That's what I'm saying. I'm talking about the promoter. I'm talking about the promoter.
You get the back.
But like for me, I don't think that Ja Rule has any problems paying his bills, right? I don't think he has any problems paying his bills. It's just always gonna be a thing between these two parties. It'll forever be that. Like I put up a picture one time, like I found like two old people like fighting, and I'm like, this is June and the Murder Inc.
Yeah.
Like it's never gonna end.
Just has to have fun with it and just keep spinning this and taking the free promo at this point.
You can't have fun with it when you're seen as like the eternal loser and they feel like you've lost in every.
But do people care? I mean, do people still? It's still a fun, like now on social media, it's a funny thing like here and there. But do people actually care? Like I mean, I was in my early 20s when that whole Ja Rule 50 Cent shit happened. It was a big thing at that time. These kids
I don't think anyone's saying that shit to him on the street. It's internet jokes. Like I don't think anyone's coming up to Ja in real life and being disrespectful.
But that's what most
he's carrying the public narrative, man.
That's what I'm saying. He just has to spin it somehow and have fun.
You can't.
You got to learn how to spin the spin.
All right, the only
you can't
spin,
be bothered, right?
If you're gonna be 100, the only spin Ja has because of the situation, it's not like Ja has made more money than Fifth in his career, right? It's not like Ja's career is overall seen to be more successful. Not like people thought he won the beef. The only spin he has is that, and he says it, just nobody cares. Fifth, we beat y'all up, or we beat you up, and you snitched. And everybody's like, okay, anyway, you only sold 200 tickets, nigga. What the fuck? You get me? So like, when you're throwing out your retorts and nobody cares, it's like Drake versus Meek. Right? When Meek was saying,
what?
This is getting real deep, y'all.
Yeah, wait, what?
It's Drake versus Meek.
How?
I'm talking about in terms of when you're throwing out your retort and nobody cares. When Meek says he doesn't write and Drake says, is your girl tour your world tour? Yo, fuck that, he don't write.
I hear you. Wait. We got to stop it right there because I hear you, but like you could never compare like those two things. Like you can't compare those two things because one, the whole Murder Inc. shit with 50, that shit got bloody. It got personal in the streets. It was some street shit before it was some music shit.
I get that.
That's one, right? Now, I get what you're saying about the retorts, but even with that, like it wasn't the same. Like nobody looked at Meek as like Ja ruled. Like that became a thing. Like Ether became a thing. Like we always talk about that. Like when Hove went through the Ether thing, people started saying Ether. Still to this day, if you get joked on crazy, they say you got Ether. Nobody would say that Meek got Ja ruled, and nobody would say that you got Meeked.
Wait, Wayno, you're looking at this whole thing.
Because you used that name, and people going to be like, oh, you're defending Meek, I don't care.
You're looking at that whole thing on some after effect thing. I'm talking about, Meek said it. Like, I'm talking about in the moment. Meek is saying he got pissed on, he don't write, and nobody caring. Like, if let's be honest, if it wasn't 50, and let's just say rapper A and rapper B, and rapper B basically comes out and says, we got paperwork on this nigga snitched, this nigga did this, we did this to him. Like, without the music and the narrative and everything around it, it'd be like, yo, to be honest, that's hard to ignore. But because of the situations and who the fans fucked with the most at the time, nobody cared. Like, yo, Meek admitted it, and that's what I think Jai's going through, he's been going through. He said the same thing too. He said, we're looking online and we're hearing people saying we're losing when this, according to them, again, I don't know these things, but it said, according to like Irv and Ja, they're saying, yo, he filed a restraining order on us. How could you say we pussy? You get me? Like all of that type of stuff. In reality, like, you know what I mean? So people just didn't care. So that's the only comparison I make with the Meek thing, because Meek was saying certain things that outside of We Lovin' Drake would have been very damaging to a rapper, but it just didn't do any harm. Like, from the era that Ja and Fifth comes from, if you're the snitch, or you're labeled a snitch, or someone provides some paperwork, it's gonna be bad for you. But we ain't wanna hear Ja. Get the fuck out of here, nigga. Let's keep it 100. That's true.
I didn't expect such a deep analytical read on this, because literally these two have been beefing since I was
That's
born.
one of the jokes.
Just for the jokes, but
I'm too serious today.
Yeah, they'll be at this forever, but we are gonna end on a little bit of a somber note today. We want to say rest in peace to rapper Theodore Jones. I think you guys know him as Young Greatness. He was a Cash Money affiliate. He was only, I believe, 34 years old. He was shot and killed in New Orleans early on Monday morning. So we just want to say rest in peace to him and condolences to all of his friends.
Rest in peace to this young man, Young Greatness, man. He gave Uncle Murda a banger a few years ago, brought the real niggas back. You know what I mean? Like, for real, like he had a dope hook. He was very talented. It's unfortunate to see him go so young, but condolences go out to his family and friends.
Yeah, definitely condolences goes out to his family and friends. Just very sad even hearing about this. It's just another unfortunate incident of, like, especially in that Louisiana area when rappers are coming up, and if they don't move, it feels like that's the narrative. If you don't move, most times your city ends up taking your life.
Yeah.
And it's so unfortunate. Again, I can imagine what his family and friends are feeling. And also, even like Birdman, who apparently was also cool and close with him as well. So, very sad.
Yeah, Boosie did say that. You know what I mean? That it'd be your own home. Like when you look at most of the artists, it comes from home. You know?
Yeah, he's notorious for advising artists once they get to a certain level to leave.
Yeah.
And it's kind of sad that that's the advice you have to give. But in a lot of cases, you do realize that the place you think you're the most safe at because you're the most familiar, you're not the most safe at. Yeah. And then a lot of times for that person, because of familiarity, the dangers or the other obstacles that you may face where you're at, like you don't even see past it because you deal with it seemingly every day.
Right.
So this is very sad.
Yeah, very, very unfortunate. So rest in peace. All right, guys, that's our show for today. So we're going to ComplexCon this weekend. If you're going to be out in Long Beach, come check us out. We're doing a show on Saturday. We have some good guests. We have YB and Amir, Corday, Almighty J. It should be a fun episode. We'll see you tomorrow on Everyday Struggle.
I'm doing a panel.
And Wayno's doing a panel. And Act's doing a panel. And I'm
Hell
doing a
no,
panel.
I ain't
Everyone's
doing
doing
panel.
No, you're not? All right, never mind.
I'm doing a panel.
Come watch us debate. We'll see you Saturday at ComplexCon.
Peace, y'all.